This is Adam, and he suffers from gout. Try Ural. It helps to prevent crystallization of uric acid crystals in gout therapy. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer for gout.
Hello, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. Muhyiddin Yassin is adamant that there are no cartels in his party. He also called on members not to make excuses and blame the party for their mistakes. Muhyiddin said this in response to a Bersatu rep's allegation of a cartel after switching his support.
Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin has dismissed the allegation that a cartel is controlling the party's Selangor chapter.
Tak ada kartel. Dia kata kartel. Mana ada kartel? Parti ni bergerak atas dasar perlembagaan. Ada peraturan. Datuk Rashid pun sebenarnya menjadi timbalan pengurusi badan pimpinan negeri. Kalau berkartel dengan dia lah.
He was responding to Bersatu's Selat Kelang assemblyperson Abdul Rashid Asari, who claimed this is the reason behind his decision to support Selangor Menteri Besar Amirudin Shari. Previously, Rashid claimed that S'gor Bersatu is dominated by leaders who had joined the party recently. Muhyiddin added that Bersatu leaders should not point the finger at the party for their wrongdoings.
Jangan cari sebab ataupun dalih bila dah melakukan kesilapan besar, maka menuduh parti pula buat begitu. Ini satu perbuatan memang yang tidak bertanggungjawab lah.
Muhyiddin told reporters this after submitting documents on the amendments to the party constitution to the ROS. On March 2nd, Bersatu, during an extraordinary general meeting, amended Clause 10 of its constitution to disallow its lawmakers from defecting. With the amendment, its lawmakers would automatically lose their membership if they supported rival parties.
Meanwhile, Abdul Rashid, who switched his support to the Selangor government, has explained what led to his decision.
Selat Kelang assemblyperson Abdul Rashid Asari has admitted that he was disappointed with the way Bersatu treated him to the point he felt as if the party no longer cared about him. The former Selangor Bersatu chairperson also claimed that a written agreement reached by the three parties in Perikatan Nasional had been violated. Elaborating, Rashid said ahead of the 15th general election in 2022, Bersatu, together with PAS and Gerakan, had agreed on the distribution of seats in Selangor, including the Kapar parliamentary seat, which would go to Bersatu. However, he said during the final meeting to determine the distribution of seats, PAS claimed the Kapar seat and ignored the agreement that was made before that due to political manipulation. Commenting further, Rashid said in the meeting before GE15, no one paid attention to his arguments and instead took drastic decisions without consideration that Bersatu should be allowed to contest in Kapar. He said he had tried his best to defend the dignity of Bersatu division heads who deserved to be nominated but were ignored by the party's top leadership. As a result of the rejection, Rashid said he was insulted and despised for allegedly failing to name Bersatu leaders as candidates before he was finally sacked as Selangor Bersatu chairperson. He added that he decided to take this drastic decision because he felt he was no longer needed by Bersatu. Rashid added that his actions were also motivated by the unhappiness of certain parties who tried to mobilize efforts to dismiss him. Rashid, who was once a Selangor senior exco when Bersatu was part of Pakatan Harapan, became the latest representative from PN to declare support for the coalition government. Previously, Rashid expressed his displeasure with Bersatu when it was led by a certain individual who only joined the party a day or two ago. Although he did not mention any name, it is understood that Rashid was referring to Asmin Ali, who is also the former deputy president of PKR.
The Home Minister wants an NGO to provide evidence of mistreatment of detainees at immigration detention centres. Saifuddin said he gave them the benefit of the doubt and would look into it, but any such reports should be based on evidence.
Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the recent report by Human Rights Watch detailing torture of detainees in immigration depots is still hearsay. At the Dewan Rakyat today, he said this is as the Human Rights NGO has yet to provide any evidence to him.
Hakikatnya ketika berdepan dengan PSC, mereka tak dapat mengadakan sebarang bukti kepada PSC. Jadi setakat ini laporan itu masih bersifat hearsay dan tidak mematuhi sebarang metodologi kajian atau reporting yang boleh kita guna pakai. Apa pun saya masih lagi memberikan benefit of the doubt Barangkali ada benda kita terlepas pandang.
Meanwhile, Saifuddin said that he wanted concrete evidence of such occurrences in the detention centres so that he can set up an investigation committee. He will also have a meeting with HRW in the near future. The minister was responding to Bangi MP Shari who called for immigration officers to respect the human rights of undocumented migrants. Last Wednesday, HRW released a report which claimed that ill treatment and inadequate medical care have led to hundreds of deaths in immigration detention centres. Of the 23 migrants and refugees interviewed by HRW, 15 reported being assaulted and all have witnessed beatings while in immigration detention. Every interviewee also said they face some form of punishment during their detention.
Meanwhile, a human rights NGO has claimed that the Home Minister has not painted the exact picture of what stateless children and adults are going through to get registered. Lawyers for Liberty also claimed that Saifuddin lacked credibility with the statistics he revealed.
Lawyers for Liberty advisor N. Surendran has rejected claims by Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail that foundlings face no problems in applying for citizenship. In a statement today, he also said that the statistics produced by Saifuddin lacked credibility and did not match the experience of activists involved in the issue. Earlier, Saifuddin had said that all 142 applications between 2014 and 2023 were approved, and as for foundlings beyond the age of infancy, 98% of applications were approved. However, Surendran contended that in just 4 years between 2018 and 2021, there were 149 live babies who were abandoned or dumped. For cases involving foundlings, an application must be made by law under Article 19B of the Federal Constitution. Surendran said that if every foundling application was being approved, it wouldn't explain why there are so many cases filed by foundlings pending in courts. He added, at best, they are only the number of applications allegedly made. The former Padang Serai MP said that any stateless person will tell of the mountain of challenges they face in getting their applications for citizenship approved, with many being unjustifiably rejected time and time again. He said the figures shed no light on the real numbers of stateless foundlings or foundling adults out there who may have made multiple applications and been rejected. He questioned if Saifuddin's figures took into account those whose applications have been repeatedly rejected and have stopped trying.
P. Ramasamy has responded to Akmal's statement and said he's not surprised by the UMNO leader's immature attack on him. The duo had been exchanging views on vernacular schools.
Former Penang Deputy Chief Minister P. Ramasamy has called out UMNO Youth Chief Dr. Muhammad Akmal Saleh, saying that the latter has resorted to racist stereotypes instead of choosing a rational discussion. This came after Akmal took a swipe at Ramasamy last night by saying that politicians such as him are why unity between the races can't be fostered all this while. In a post on Facebook, Akmal had also posted, "Kamu mabuk ke apa?" In response, Ramasamy said he expected Akmal to have responded rationally and maturely to his argument about the existence of the vernacular schools in the country. He added that, not surprisingly, Akmal responded by saying that he might be mabuk or confused about his defense of the vernacular schools. Ramasamy claimed that Akmal was trying to peddle the usual and mundane stereotype of racists and bigots that as an ethnic Indian he might have some proclivity towards alcohol. He said that Akmal had made superficial and racist remarks about vernacular schools and appeared unable to engage in a normal debate about vernacular schools and why he had made the call for the government to review them. Ramasamy also challenged Akmal to call for the closing down of the vernacular schools. He said he would like to know how Akmal's DAP friends would take this challenge. He also stressed that his registered party, United for the Rights of Malaysian Party or URIMAI, is not racially or ethnically defined. He said unlike UMNO, the membership is open to all the races, particularly the disadvantaged and marginalised. Last night, Akmal had questioned the logic behind espousing a Bangsa Malaysia while insisting on vernacular schools. In a post on Facebook, Akmal said such arguments are why racial unity can't be fostered. He said Ramasamy's party is multiracial and wants to form a Bangsa Malaysia, but questioned why he wanted a separation on education.
Akmal's remarks also caught the attention of DAP representative Rajiv Rishakaran, who urged him to have a civil dialogue and start with a chat over coffee.
Bukit Gasing assemblyperson Rajiv Rishakaran has invited UMNO Youth Chief Dr. Muhammad Akmal Saleh to discuss the hot topic of vernacular schools over coffee. This in a response to Akmal's drunk remark against former Penang Deputy Chief Minister P. Ramasamy, who said that Akmal was wrong to blame vernacular schools for racial divisions and blamed politics instead. Rajiv said if Akmal is sincere about national unity, he should not sully debates by belittling those with different views. He also encouraged the UMNO leader to engage everyone in dialogue, including political parties and NGOs who feel strongly about vernacular school instead of shooting down decades of successful vernacular education. On the matter specifically, the DAP rep pointed out that Chinese vernacular schools, SJKC, are the most multiracial schools today compared to national schools. The current hot debate began when Akmal suggested that Putrajaya refine the schooling system, saying that perhaps the time has come for a single-stream education system to be implemented. Akmal had questioned the logic behind espousing a Bangsa Malaysia while insisting on vernacular schools, saying that such arguments are why racial unity can't be fostered. Last month, the federal court rejected an appeal by two NGOs seeking to declare vernacular schools unconstitutional, thereby protecting their constitutionality.
Back to Saifuddin, the Home Minister has revealed that the Kedah MB has been left out of development meetings, mainly due to his habit of letting out sensitive information.
The attitude of Kedah Menteri Besar Muhammad Sanusi Matno, who is alleged to frequently disclose important information from government meetings to the public, especially during political speeches, has led to the cancellation of Kedah State Development Action Council or MTPN meetings. Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said, therefore Sanusi should not complain following his attitude which does not uphold decorum and meeting etiquette. He said some government meetings are highly confidential, some are sensitive, and if Sanusi attends federal meetings and then comes back only to ridicule what happened in the meetings, then he is someone who does not maintain decorum. Saifuddin claimed that when he returns from the meetings, Sanusi uses information from the meetings to lecture past branches, even though the information conveyed does not provide a true picture. Saifuddin also emphasized that there was no impact on his duties and role as the joint chairman in monitoring the implementation of federal projects in Kedah, even though meetings were not held with the Menteri Besar. During the winding-up session of the Kedah State Legislative Assembly sitting on Thursday, Sanusi claimed that Saifuddin had never called him for meetings to discuss federal government infrastructure projects in Kedah with the state government since the council was established.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.